All right, so I fucked up, and this is like actually the second time that this has happened now. So, first time it only cost me like 60 bucks, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be as forgiving this time, but I'm not quite sure yet. But I was out of a shoot last night, and I had a couple of my 120D Mark IIs rigged to the ceiling with some barn doors on them, mimicking a spotlight and a Fresnel as well. We were filming like a drag Broadway number. The subject matter isn't important, but I had it rigged up to the ceiling.
It was pointed down. It was like up on some pipe. It was a little precarious, but like the light didn't fall or anything. But at the last second, after we had everything completely set up, like I had to just like adjust some tiny little thing. So I get back up on the ladder and I'm up at the ceiling.
And I unplug the XLR cable from the light while the controller box was still on. And we checked different cables. We swapped out the controller boxes, and it turned out that we had shorted out the controller box. I shorted out the controller box because I didn't turn it off before I unplugged the XLR. And it's just like such a simple thing. And it's not that it shorts out the cable. Like, your controller box needs replacement parts and you have to send it back to repair for Aputure. So don't be an idiot like me. Turn your controller box off before you unhook your cable. Otherwise, you may short out something inside of your controller box. So yeah, don't do that. I've been using Aputure Lights now for a few years, and every time I've looked elsewhere, I've been disappointed in the product in one way or another. Whether it was the form factor was a little weird, or the remote control didn't work, or the Amazon listing said there was a remote control, but in fact there wasn't. So over the last year or so, there've been like a whole bunch of different brands that have come out that most of them just sort of copy the form factor of Aputure's designs, and some are better than others, at least from some reviews that I've seen, but I haven't actually put my hands on any of those lights yet. And recently they've been more compelling because they're significantly less expensive than the Aputure series of lights. They also carry like the same warranty periods and things like that, but they can be potentially a lot brighter with similar color quality than the Aputure ones. So, outside of staying like in the remote family, or, being able to pair that light up with like a really well-designed app, like the Sidus Link app that Aputure has, it's really tough not to look at some other brands, but I just I like this system, and I especially like how the newer series of Aputure lights all really talk to each other through that app. And if I have to upgrade this because it's completely fried, then like I'll do that, and I'll probably get like a 300D, or maybe the bicolor one or something. I'm not quite sure yet, but anyway, if there are some lights that you recommend or ones that you might want me to review, then leave those model numbers down below in the comments, or send me a DM on Twitter or something. Yeah, well, thanks for coming along on this episode of Mark's a fucking idiot and breaks his shit. Maybe we'll have more of these in the future.